Yay. Ambujam is so fun. Like being able to speak with her. I woke up this morning and I go, oh my God, I remember last time I felt like I was traveling through
Yeah.
time, space, anything, everywhere, all at once. It was
My
amazing.
gosh.
So I'm super excited about our show today.
Ambujam has become one of my friends over the years, right? And we had this freaking awesome, life-changing talk with her about veils
Yeah.
quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
We've got this really cool package for you today where we are going to just remove veils, remove veils, remove veils
Yeah.
on my own.
Wait,
Okay.
before you go into that, was this the same package, Jenna? I think I remember you saying when we first started working together that this was the package that changed, you
That
told her that changed your life. Like you
Well,
quit.
yeah, and it just I've listened to this like I don't listen to all my speakers programs, but this one I have listened to, and I can't wait to
She needs,
unveil it
she needs
for
it.
you all.
Yay. I
Wow.
think Alma Jump joined us.
So,
I'm sure she's ready to jump in.
Hi, hi.
hi.
Hi. Let's go ahead and pin her up.
Yep.
Hey there.
Hi,
Oh,
hi, hi,
You look
super.
super
hi.
Got it.
cute.
Thanks.
And I love that. I love that style. It's my fave.
I asked Kenji Kamara this, but I want to ask you this. How do you define veils?
So, because I see everything psychically, right? Veils they can be created by many, many things, but I'm talking about the ego veil, okay? Veil is like a webbing,
Hmm.
okay? And the webbing is made up of consciousness,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Okay. And so if I have a veil, which I'll get into in a second, and I'm seeing everything through that, or I'm feeling everything through that, I don't even know I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would I even know that? Right? Because
Yes.
it just feels like me, feels normal. This is
Yeah.
me. So when I actually created this whole veil meditation healing thing, it was really fascinating because I saw all of these like webbings on all of our chakras, on emotions. It's like there's a thing on stuff. And that thing that I'm talking about today is the ego energy, the egoic consciousness that creates like a blanket on top of the consciousness on top of our own consciousness, let's say. And
Hmm.
so this veil, which looks like a spider web, or it's like a web, and it's all super intricate and it's all made up out of egoic consciousness. What the foundation of that veil is fear. It's the ego holding on.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as we're going through our awakening, these veils are thinning, going, completing,
Hmm.
Yeah.
ending, right? And so I'm going to simplify it for now. That's what a veil is. A veil is a consciousness that has been around for, it doesn't have to be around forever. It can be around for a minute. It can be around for a while. But it's this kind of woven consciousness that then creates us to look through that and feel through that.
Okay. So,
Rather than what is, right?
Exactly.
Okay, got
So
it.
it's like clearing your eyes,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense.
right?
Thank you for that.
Like,
Yeah.
and what's so interesting about, like, if we simplify everything for a second, and where this like awakened true self, light, heart energy, being, consciousness, awareness, aliveness, and we just simplify it, like that's it. And yes, we're also incarnated in a human form, and we have things to be and do that's very unique, right? But if we just kind of dial it all back, like surrender it all back, we're all this being of light. And then there's this ego energy that creates the sense of me, separate me. I'm separate from everything, and I'm alone, and I'm separate. And when we start to wake up, the more that light within us comes on and comes on and comes on and comes on, the ego is freaking the F out, man, because it doesn't want to die.
Yeah.
And so these veils are like,
Yeah.
and it can be as simple, these veils can be as simple as tension in your body. Like it's tension. And there are times when I'm working with people, and because of how they're awakening, they can be going through very specific survival fear from the ego that is so foundational. It's so foundational because it's seen as a death that it can just simply be felt as tension. But when you start to like put it under a microscope, it's like, well, oh, that's not stress or tension. That's the ego holding on, freaking out. And it's really normal, right? And it's like, so I guess that's what I want to say so far.
Well, it's funny because I think when I started really waking up, I kept finding myself almost lamenting the loss of my limitations. Like, I mean, this is very, very real in such a way. I mean, because I even
what would that look like, Gina?
I have even done it this week.
Okay, so give me an example, or give us an example to bring it to full, like so that we can see what
The awareness. So,
and why would somebody do that?
Yeah.
And I'll let Ambujam answer that, but give me the example.
So I've been taking a different kind of marketing training. I found out yesterday that this man in 2010 was in the exact same class that I was in, and his first teacher was my first teacher. That man has gone on to make nearly $1 billion in his business. And he was talking about how he was in the same place I was in 2010. And I had insane resistance to this person. Like he was just loud and young.
Oh, back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm just like waking up going, why didn't I listen to this? You know, why did it take this long? So I've seen resistance around that. And on Tuesday's show, I was sharing a resistance that I had about somebody like trigger marketing to me, like really truly getting me to, you know, he's like delivering like a great, great product. Yet because of the wording around it, I was like, I can't choose that. And I had such a strong emotion about it. And I know when you resist and when you have a strong emotion about it, there's probably something in there that you need to look at.
Okay, good. God.
So that, I guess that's the first layer of awakening, right? The second layer of awakening is, you know, if you put up these walls, I mean, that's separation in its own right. Even if it is a parameter to keep yourself safe.
And that what's interesting too, like the longer we're on this path, I want to say the more subtle levels of we're understanding, oh, that's really foundational fear for me, or oh, that's a wall I put up, or oh, like we get to see more and more and more and more and more and more and more of like just what it's not us. Right. Oh, that's not me. Like, oh, and when you guys were talking a little minute ago before I came on, about, oh, I'm creating all of this. Well,
shit.
If that's true, right?
Yeah.
And it, I mean, this conversation is super layered, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But
this is an advanced conversation for sure.
And that's okay. We'll go here.
Well, what's interesting is like, so our deep, 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 deep layers of our energy inside, it's not just I have a thought today and that creates my life, right? So when we hear these things, oh, your thoughts create your life, your choices create your life. What happens is then we start to instantly create a concept of what that means. Right? Oh, so if I just choose this, then this should manifest this way. It's like, no, dude. And how do you know? Because you've lived it. Shit doesn't work. That is not what it is.
Yeah.
Right? It is like that which is creating our lives is deep inside of us. And if you look at it like a spectrum or physics, or when how much something weighs and then it creates, that weight weighs more than something else. And that whatever's weighing more creates, in a way, we could say, right?
Yeah.
So if we're this spectrum of energy, I have my traumas, I have my emotions, I have my fears, I have my true self, I have my thoughts, I have my ego, I have all the things. We have to not take what's being said and create a concept from it. We have to take what's being said of, you are 100% responsible for your life. Well, what the F does that really mean? What does that mean? What is actually creating my life? And if you can kind of like,
yeah,
like surrender like back from the simple-minded perspective of what choices create your life. Yes, that's true. But from a very deep, real place. It's not, I just made a choice in a very kind of specific way, and I better do this and I better do that because I'm scared if I don't create the right choice. Oh my God, what reality and what timeline am I going to end up in? Like, dude, slow your roll. Like, that ain't freaking it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's really, 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 really normal to go there. But it doesn't weigh anything in a way. It doesn't create anything at this time, but more stress, more anxiety. And the thing is, why these are so normal is because before we started to wake up, we lived up in there, right? We didn't know, oh, I'm in my mind.
Right.
Oh, we had no freaking clue. And most people, before they woke up, their lives worked from that identity, from that mind, from that, quote, separate self that's running around thinking, this is me, and this is my life.
Yeah, like this is the
right?
box that I live in.
Yeah.
This is the box of my life.
Why would you even question? Like, I used to say to myself when I first started waking up and I started to have these huge contrasts, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, it's like me saying, it's like somebody saying, Ambujam, you're not really a Caucasian person. You're really purple. I'd be like, why would I ever second guess the color of my skin? Like,
yeah.
Why would I do that? And it's like, well, actually, it's not Caucasian, it's purple. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? So if I'm really purple, what the, how do I live my purple life? And so it's maddening and freaking wild of like who we still think we are is like a chicken with its head cut off. It's freaking dead. But the body is still like this until it just, who we think we are is actually unplugged, over, dead.
Yeah.
It just is, okay? But it's still like this. Oh my God, my thoughts create my timelines and my reality. Oh no, what do I? No, man, dead, over. Let it die, let it go. And so if we simplify and simplify and simplify and simplify, A, no, that's normal. B, that's not who you are anymore. It's over, unplugged, but it's loud, it has echo. Go to the heart, 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 go to the being, go to the being, go to the being. And it's, again, what I'm talking about is like really, it's subtle and it's layered, and we could have 8 hours discussion of this, right? But
wow, this is crazy.
My point is, like, you're not who you think you are anymore. And it's just going to be more of that, more of that, more of that, more of that, more of that as we keep going, right?
Yeah.
And so to really know what is creating your life, you have to know where to go to even ask that question. You have to know where to go within yourself to even align with what in me is creating this situation, I wonder.
Yeah.
Right? And you got to let all the veils and all the things be there, but to be like, but that's not really what's creating it though. And okay, and here's like this other tricky thing. And this is where there's no like, well, it's only this and it's only that. Your mind can't create anything. Your ego mind running around can't create anything. It can if you're identified in it. Right?
Talk about that a little bit more.
So an example is this. Because of how I see things, and I work with somebody and I'm like, what do you want to work on? And they can be talking about something that's really painful for them and really confusing and really upsetting. And a lot of times what's happening is they're talking from the dead part. I'm like, dude,
Sure.
that's not you anymore. Because you can feel it. It's hard for us to feel it in ourselves. But when you can watch somebody talking, you're kind of like something in you knows like, that's not it. You're not talking from the you.
Yeah, that's
right?
the not you.
That's the not you.
But because it feels familiar, sometimes we try to go recreate that again, right?
Totally.
We're like, oh, I gotta go back to who I was.
It's so familiar. Like we don't know how to just be completely present, right? And curious and unknown. That's too scary. We can learn, right? But so when someone's really identified in the old self, their life can keep creating from there because that's where their focus is, right?
Wow.
That's happening too. So it's this deep alignment of who and what I really am that then provides me all the answers to these questions. If I'm not in there and I'm in an old part, I won't find it, right?
Wow.
Like we don't know when it's said you are 100% responsible for your life. You are creating everything. We don't know what that means. But if we dig deep to be like, well, what does that actually mean? I wonder. Okay, let me go to like the quote right place to ask this question. Because it can create, again, FOMO, spiritual FOMO. It can create all these things of, oh God, the timelines. Oh no, what if I choose wrong, right? It creates so much stress and not trust and loss of faith because you're in the wrong position looking at it. Right? So like one of you said, I can't remember, you said, oh, Lianka, you said, well, if I have an emotion, a strong emotion about it, well, that's a clue. I'm triggered. Something's going on. I need to look at it, right? All these places in us feel that way. Right? So, and so we have this eclipse coming up, March 29th, right? Today's the 27th. We're in that energy right now.
Yes.
It's very intense. I'm sure y'all can feel something heightening in you that you're like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's very strong, right? And it's really hard when we have these conversations because the mind hears it and creates a concept in 2 seconds.
Yes.
So what I want to say, kind of like let's say the intention for the show, just feel what's being said. That's the practice, right? Because what I'm about to talk about, the mind's going to create a concept, okay? This eclipse that's coming 2 days is bringing humanity and us personally to an apex, like the end of something. It is the end of a long journey in a certain consciousness that we have. There's a new way, next level of truth, next level of love, next level of following our hearts, next level of living differently that is on the horizon. It is so foundational, this change that's coming, that it's like this feeling of we're heading towards a cliff right now. It's kind of how the body is feeling, like, oh God, what, the other shoe's going to drop, something's going to happen, right? It doesn't know what to do with this spiritual shift, right? Because of how it perceives it. But what's happening is we're edging up against consciousness that we just can't be anymore. We can stay in it if we want to, but it doesn't feel good, right? So we're all feeling our next levels, let's simply say, of how we want to be and who we want to be. It's not just one choice. You make it once and you're done. We already know this now, right? And so let's say let's say this circle is the universe. Every single thing going on in this circle, okay? All the universes. There's a spot in the circle of humanity in this eclipse. From all the universe, what's happening in the universe of consciousness, energy, shifting, changing, every single incarnated being is having their own experience, right? This spot on Earth of what this eclipse is bringing us to is a major significant point in the shift in consciousness that affects the entire universe. Okay. We don't have to think about, what if I choose wrong? What does that mean? Because that's a concept again. You already feel this happening in you. You just have to choose what's next for you. What feels really true in your heart. That is all you have to do.
Yeah.
And follow it and freaking do it. Okay. We're
Yeah,
starting to get out
always.
of,
Because that'll get you out of all of the
Exactly.
noise. All
And
the
it's like
noise.
these conversations for me is a double-edged sword because they're important to have, and it can create a lot of stress for people because they start to get freaked out. Timelines.
Yes.
Right? And so it's
Or I'm
that's what I'm
manifesting
saying.
wrong, right?
Yeah,
We
everything
talked
is
about
about
that
I'm
too.
gonna do
Yeah, I don't
I'm
want to
gonna
make a
miss out.
mistake.
I'm gonna do it wrong. I'm gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
Right? It creates all this fear.
Yeah.
And yet the information is real of, hey, everyone, we're starting to head towards this kind of ending of how things have been forever.
Yeah. Or at least for our forever, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, we have the opportunity energetically on this planet and within ourselves to live from our hearts, follow the path, because that's what it is at the end of the day, no matter what shift is happening, right? So we're going through this like huge transformation right now to get ready to say goodbye to the old ways within us. Because if you want to look at what's going on the planet, just look at one person. It's all there. Right? What you choose affects me. What I choose affects you. What's going on with me is going on with you. It's just different story.
Yep.
But what's going on is like all the universe is within you.
Yes.
Right? So, and within me. So it really matters because of the awakening and the space and the freedom of what you choose, because it has consequences. All our choices do. But the weight of our choices now, because truly, even though we're more sensitive to all the energies and we have all the noise and we have all the emotion, everything is still there. But truly, you are so much more freer than you think you are, that when you choose something, there's a lot of space now. That choice manifests energetically, at least, much faster. So again, I say this not to scare anyone. It's just what it is, right? So a way that we can test this is if you feel something weird and something funky within yourself, and you start to focus there, how do you feel within 2 seconds of focusing on something? You feel the effect of it.
Right.
Or you put your focus, right, on your intuition, on your truth, on your peace, on your wholeness. How do you feel within 2 seconds? Right? So this is our proof of, well, if this is happening internally, of when I put my focus on something, I feel something pretty fast. This is my proof, because that's the micro level. On a macro level, my choices are that fast too. I just don't see it with my eyes. But energetically, it matters, right? Because there's more freedom, more awakeness, and more space, our choices matter. They have always mattered. They have always manifested. Our choices always create our life. These deep parts of us always create our life. But because the energy was denser on the planet and before 2012, by the time we kind of chose something, it could have easily petered out by the time it got to you. Energy is dense, right? And so now, like when 2012 happened, Spirit showed me this image of like, it was like we had a pool cover on top of our pool. And we're all in the pool playing and like choosing, and the water is rippling. And when I touch the water, it ripples to you and affects you. But because there was a pool cover on it, everything was really small, limited, like, And then 2012 happened, the earth started its awakening, pool cover came off. And now my ripple, when I touch the water, it really ripples to you that much faster because the density is not here, right? And so our choices have always created our life, but now the pool cover's off, the density is not there. So the truth has always been you are 100% responsible for life. We just didn't experience it so directly.
Ambujam, because you're speaking of this time, being on that, precipice, I'm seeing a lot of reports or like comments, because we are all interconnected on the web, that people are even feeling it even more heightened, like within this last, like, I would even say this last, not, part of the year, like this year, right? Like, just, it's really heightened. And I feel it too. I feel like from week to week, I feel like, I mean, maybe a couple weeks, but I remember that I came in and I was like, something changed. And people are also saying that. Is that true? And or are we experiencing that in that way?
Yeah, because
Or do you have more insight?
yeah, because of your awakening and the eclipse. I'm going to simplify it.
Okay.
It's two things right now.
So yes, okay.
Yeah, this heightening that everybody is feeling.
Yes. I mean, people are just like writing about it on TikTok, and they're like, I swear, it just like I have zipped into something, or something just totally different. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I read it, and then I read it again, and it's like I can tell that they're talking about even something else. Like I feel it.
Yep.
Like, how many of you can even relate to who you were 5 years ago, right?
Or even
it's like,
2 days ago.
Right?
Like you look at a picture of yourself,
real talk.
like from a year ago or whatever, and you're like, who is that?
For sure.
Yeah, we look at our old shows and we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and a year from now, we'll look at this one and be like, who is that?
That's it.
Right? It's so interesting, this like
Valentina said
awakening.
it's a very concentrated energy, like a bomb. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So
They're
yeah,
all feeling
everything that
it.
you guys are feeling. I mean, my monitor is far away, so I can't see what you guys are writing. Like where I see all of you is kind of far away from me.
Okay.
It'd be fun to open up for some questions. We've got some questions.
Yeah, that'd be great. But when you say, "Oh, I feel this way," is this happening? Well, yes, because you feel this way.
Yeah.
Right. Like you guys have to trust yourselves.
Yeah. Paula said, I'm curious if this intense tension I've been experiencing is related to my awakening. She said that way early on the show too,
Yeah,
like 20 minutes ago.
And everything, the bar keeps rising. So awakening is the most simplest thing in the world, but it is very complicated.
Yeah.
Because of all the energy and everything that's dying off in us is the complication.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that truth, spot, light, peace, sovereignty, wholeness, that stays the same. That doesn't change. It just gets to get bigger in the body and wants to know itself, right? It wants to experience itself as itself. So everything, so the simple part is we go back to the veil. So let's say there was this veil, okay, and I'll just kind of do it like this. Let's say here's my true self that I was born with. I am that. This is what created me, let's say, right? And incarnated in a form and is having this experience, right?
Yeah.
Then I have this veil that is the ego, that is my sense of self, that says, me, I, me, I'm alone, I'm separate, I have to do everything on my own, nobody loves me, all my worthiness. Like this is all the issues right here, the issues, the identity in our emotions, okay? So I was born So I'll just use myself for example. So here I am with the gifts I have and all of that. That's not my awakening. Okay, because I still had that foundational veil in my heart, in my energy. Okay. What happens is at some point for all of us, this veil goes poof. And then poof, here I am. And the grand all I want to do is be this and experience myself as this and now live this life. And it's completely different than this life. Right?
Wow.
So the simple part's always been there. Like, this is just who we are. And then who we are incarnates in this form to have a certain experience. And we all have our own capacities, our gifts, our knowings, our wisdom. It's like ice cream. It has thousands of flavors and colors, and each person is their own ice cream color and flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. It's unique. Nobody can ever be their color, ever, ever. And yet what made all the ice cream is the same, right? And when we go through our awakening, there are moments where we feel just this, right? Like, oh my God, I'm done. There's nothing here. Like, we all have these moments, even if it's a glimpse of like nothingness or just light or just aliveness or just simple or just peace or just stillness. And we feel like, and then we also have the experience of, I'm this person, I'm empowering myself, I'm healing, I'm learning how to be who I am. It feels so good. Oh, here comes another issue, right? Both are happening simultaneously. So this heightening that we're feeling is not the true self.
Yeah.
Because that's already there. It's everything that's happening to bring that true self forward. And it's like as these energies come on the planet, higher and higher and higher, or a galactic family starts to connect, right? Which is what 2025 is a piece of that, right? At the end of the day, what it's all doing is it's all these different vibrations that are pointing in this true self. It's time to be this now. It's time to be this now. It's time to be this now. So it can go from the most simplest experience to the complicated, and the heightening part is the energy that we're feeling that's waking us up.
Mm-hmm.
And so this heightening has waves and stages and all kinds of things, depending on astrology, depending on the energy, depending on the timing, depending on the history of whatever is going on that's changing. Like, that's the complicated part, right? And kind of right now we're in a huge wave of heightening because we're getting ready for this shift, right? So it's kind of like you put an old tape in the VCR, and as it gets towards the end, it goes really fast. But if you fast forward, it's like this. Right? And then towards the end, it goes. Zzz.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's where we are right now. We're at this tape anyway, because this is just the beginning of what's next. And a lot of us can feel like, I really can't feel anything past this weekend. And you can feel like, I feel now, I feel before now, but I don't really know if I go to tune into next week. It's kind of like, because we're coming to that end of a certain level of consciousness. And between now and then, there are many choices that are about to happen within us, right? That are going to create that next step that we put our foot on. And that next step is your own choice. But you don't make it with your mind, you make it with your heart. Like, what's really true for me,
I feel like, let me just add this to it. Carla in the chat, she had a question and she's like, well, how do I release my need for control? And I do feel like how you're answering that right now. And I just wanted to point that out. But if you want to go deeper in that, that'd be great.
So this is a really good question because it points to that original ego fear of death, because that's where the control is.
Okay.
At the end of the day. So if we simplify it. So
wow. Oh my gosh. I just had an epiphany.
Well, and let me read a little comment here. She said, how do I release my need for control? I believe it's rooted in the illusion veil of safety. It's like I can see it, but I can't take that blanket off.
Just
So
stay
she's
present with
already
it.
aware of that.
Right, right.
Just
And I
keep
get that.
staying. Yeah, keep staying present. Keep staying present. Keep staying present
Mhm.
with what you've now, what's there. Like, oh, safety. But I can't quite get, just keep staying present. Just keep staying present and curious and patient. And at some point, that thing will shift.
Mhm.
Ooh, can we do something right now, actually?
Yes, let's do it.
God, I just
Really.
feel like there's so many doors opening. I mean,
Yeah.
And it, whatever we're going to do right now, what also Beth said that I align with a lot.
I was looking at that.
She says, I feel like my galactic family is trying to come through.
Mm.
And there's a veil up. Well, that's the exact same conversation that I had with Kenji. He's like, well, the veil needs to be removed for you to reach that galactic family. And then, I mean, that was after
Right, and then
my channeling came online.
Yeah, and this is where this conversations get mental, because then the person can be like, okay, how do I remove the veil?
Right,
Yeah,
like
because
try
that's
to-
control in itself. Well, that's
Right.
that's what I was hoping
Right.
where you would go
And
with.
Yes,
so-
good. Thank you.
When somebody says to you, like you go to a healer or you go to a psychic or you even have your own knowing about something, right? And you see this thing or somebody sees this thing and they're like, well, this has to heal now or this has to shift. Immediately, again, we go back to our minds and go, well, how do I do that? What do I do? What do I do? What you do is you feel what has to shift that was pointed out, whether from your own self or someone else, and you meet it. That's how.
Yeah.
You don't, it's not a doing. It's not it's not what the mind thinks has to happen,
Mhm.
right? It's like this, like the truth of us is the healer, right? So the more we can allow that presence of that truth, that consciousness, that which we really can't label, the wholeness within us, the sovereignty within us, that can meet the veil that needs to go, that can meet the thing that needs to go. And within that consciousness within itself, it's something starts happening, right? But we have to kind of practice to get into that place. And that takes time, right? It can take a second or it can take an hour. We don't know. But something all of a sudden goes, oop, there I am. I'm in now, right? So it's not, these are words fall short. It's not how you release the thing. It's not what do I do now to do something, because that's a doing again. It's, oh, let me feel what this person is pointing out. Let me feel this veil. Okay, got it. Got a glimpse. Let me start there. So it's like a feeling, presence. Like, has anything that you guys have ever tried to heal ever worked? Right? At some point, something dropped, like the doer or the mind stopped, something shifted. It's grace, really. Something just goes, and then you're with the thing, right? And it's no longer about, well, how do I heal this? It's about you are doing it. It is shifting, right? So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah.
Because we're coming out of, like, and I just want to share this before. Can I? Sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I
please.
feel like
yes.
I'm just like,
No, go ahead.
No, but my
Right,
head,
so-
my head is also.
And I don't want you to forget the thing that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I know, me
For
too.
sure.
I'm like, please, let's do the
Hurry
thing.
up! Hurry. We will do the thing. How we are healing ourselves is changing.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. How we're healing ourselves is changing, and it needs to change to meet ourselves now. Right? How we healed ourselves 2 years ago isn't working so much anymore.
Yes, right. Yes, I agree.
So when somebody says, right, like you have a veil, let's just use that example. You have a veil that needs to remove so you can feel your galactic family. Well, what's needed now?
Mm-hmm.
Versus, okay, what do I do? How do I heal this? Nope. Thank you. But You got to sit down because I need to find my new way that matches myself now to meet this thing. What is that? Right? Spirit's like giving me all kinds of metaphors, and I will do the thing because it's still building as I'm talking about like you can't be a 40-year-old person and go try to put your 12-year-old pants on. They won't fit, it's too small, but they fit the 12-year-old just great. Nothing's wrong with those pants. They just don't fit anymore, right? How do you heal now? What is healing even? What the F does that even mean? What is now, right? So the thing that we want to do right now that kind of is just building, because we're talking about such a foundational egoic control, intention,
Mm-hmm.
and need to be safe and fear, that's what we want to start doing something on right now.
Okay.
Because it's so core and we all experience it. Like the
Yes.
need to control is so foundational. It's not just like, well, I had this upbringing that taught me I wasn't safe, so I have to control. No, it is way more foundational than that.
Sure.
We are talking like, if I don't control things, I won't even breathe. I must control everything. Like it's foundationally ego.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I went to this awakening talk once, gosh, years ago. And I loved what he said. He was like, it's like the manager who really believed he was managing the whole office, but he never was.
Yeah.
But he really believed
You
it.
believe, yes.
So it's that part, quote, of us that really believes we make everything happen.
Yeah.
If I don't stay vigilant, uh-oh, I won't create my life, right? The control shows up in thousands of ways, man. It's fun. It's so core. It's just part of our energetics.
Yes.
That's why awakening is so hard, because how we truly are happy and live the best, quote, our best lives is to follow the truth within us. That's where our best life is. It has nothing to do with what we think, believe, don't believe. It doesn't care. You know,
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
gotcha.
what, quote, my best life is. How would, quote, I even freaking know that? I have my desires, my needs, my concepts, my expectations, but my true self doesn't care about any of that. Sometimes my life matches what I think, and sometimes it doesn't at all. Right? And I have to say this example, and then I feel like we're getting ready, because everything that we're about to do, like this parts in your system have to like be ripe, because we're going to come in there and like do our accelerated healing and kind of remove some of this foundational control stuff, let's call it. So I was doing my readings like, I don't know, 30 years ago, because it was early on. And this guy I worked with like 5 times or so, and he was a really good salesperson. And he had this sales job for a long time. And he came to me because his sales job wasn't working anymore. He couldn't sell anything. Nothing was working. And so in the very first session, I looked at him and I was like, I saw the truth. His heart didn't want to do it anymore. But it wasn't my job to tell him that. He had to feel that for himself. Right? So his heart wants to do something else. And yet he's still in this, like, we all are, this place of fear. No, I can't let go of this. What will I do for money? What will I do for all the survival stuff starts coming up to threaten us? I can't just follow what's in my heart. No, 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 no. Right? So maybe on like the 3rd session, I felt like I could say what was happening. And I said, what does your heart really, 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 really want? And he's like, I just want to live in Vermont and be with my wife.
Wow.
And it was so true. But his mind couldn't perceive how would that happen,
Yeah.
right?
Ambujam, if you would have asked me that same question 2 years ago, I would have just bursted out in tears because that was my life. I just didn't understand how I was recreating this. And I thought I was a really great salesperson, but it stopped working.
You were in the box of your life.
I was not following it, my truth. I was in that box, yeah. But honestly, and it was right there. It was right there, and I knew it. I knew it. If you would have asked me that, I know I would have cried. I want to tear up just thinking about how.
It's so intimate and powerful. But I didn't work with him anymore. And he just didn't want to choose it. He was too scared because he couldn't. And plus, when you're a man, okay, I have to say this, and this isn't a judgment or anything. Man brain and women brain are different still. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's still a real thing, right? So man brain, let's just simply call it, is built to go find the animal, kill it, and have dinner. Women brain is more like, what's the weather doing? Ooh, I can hear the wind. Tell me, Earth, what am I to do today? It's different. It's not that the man can't do that, and it's not that the woman can't leave and go kill something to eat. But when a man wakes up, it is very hard because everything in them says, don't follow your heart. You're being a freaking wuss. Don't surrender. Don't be a weak, And so a lot of men that I've worked with, they have to face this idea of being a man.
Wow.
And what that actually means. Where women is a little different. Even if a woman is very type A, and we could say very masculine in that way, and very like go get, there's still something different though, energetically, of that kind of leap a woman has to make and a leap a man has to make. It's a little different. Then there are some men who don't have that at all because their energy is just really different. They're like, oh, can't wait to be in my heart. I was born this way, right? So it's really hard for me to describe this without sounding like whatever, but it's
transhumanoid.
It's like our insides matter, right? Of how we feel safe to surrender. And to Lianka, to what you just said too, I just want to say one more description of this. I was on this telesummit, I don't even know how long now, 8 years ago or something. And we took a call, and this woman said, I'm trying to find a job and I'm not getting hired. Nothing's working. And I looked and I'm like, I can just see all that she wants to do is be still.
No.
She didn't want to work. Just see this truth in her heart. All she wants to do is be still.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, I asked her, to connect and all that. And she came up with the same thing. She's like, I don't want to do anything. She's like, but I can't not do anything.
Yeah.
And so we had this discussion. Well, if you're not following your heart, because what's in our heart will manifest, or it wants to.
Yes.
Okay. It has to.
Yes.
Even though we're not talking about timing and when the situation changes and all that. It's more foundational than that. When we're not following our truth, depending on where we're at in our evolution and our awakening as a human single person, individual, if we're not following our truth, your ego's desires and the fears, they won't manifest because the truth is too strong to be like, I don't want to. I want to go live in Vermont with my wife. That's stronger than I want to go have this job of sales. And it wasn't working because the truth was becoming stronger than his identity, right?
Yeah.
So this woman, she knew the truth, but she was really scared, right?
Yeah.
And so we ended that call, whatever. And then like 6 months later, a year later, I'm back in the same telesummit. She comes back on and she's like, I just have to tell you, after that call, I decided to like take the leap and really listen to my heart. And I was still until it told me to not be still. And now I have the best job ever. I'm more honored. I'm more respected. And she was like, I'm like, I know, right? And so like this truth in us knows what it's doing, but do we have the courage to let go?
There it is.
Not be scared, but the courage to be like, no matter what, I'm going to do what my heart says. The end. There is no, well, maybe I am just going to do what it says. That is it.
Yeah.
And everything else is second. To have that fire in your belly to listen, to follow, and to know that whatever your heart is saying, okay, not the bullshit, not the noise, not the emotion, when you really get in there and you feel it, because you know it's a certain vibration that resonates through every bone in your body, right? You're like, oh God, I got to do this thing, right? This is what it's saying, right?
Yes.
When you have that choice to make every single time, it takes courage on a level of 1 to 10, sometimes a little bit, sometimes a lot of bit, depending on what it is you need to say no to because of this fear, this survival fear that we're about to do some healing on. It's so core. So just know it's really normal. It's not like, oh, I mean, we don't know this, but so far, is it your experience that you are no longer afraid to follow your heart? Yes or no? Just let it be what it is. Maybe one day, if it's still scary, one day it won't be. We don't know.
Can you say that again, maybe in a little bit different words? Because I feel like that didn't land in the audience.
So you may always be scared to follow the truth in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that
yeah,
would be the
I got
and
that.
and that would be the veil of
That would be the veil.
Or I guess maybe it shows up like, yes, I'm following my heart, but then there's like this little bit of holding back, right? So
Yeah.
it's not fully jumping in.
But I've
Right.
made this conclusion that I can't take a vacation because I don't because I have to keep working because you know, Stephen wrote on the chat, he said, what happens if you don't know the truth? The environmental factors is where I thought the ego went.
Then you wait until you do know.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what you experienced when you shared your story. You said that there was a period of time where you waited and you
On a
waited.
previous show. Yes.
Yeah, like when my awakening happened, I was a really, 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 really amazing manifester. And I knew how to create, and I did it super friggin' well.
Yeah.
So before my gifts reopened, when I was 26 years old, when they did reopen, I learned this whole magical world happens when I am aligned with what I really want in my heart, and then I feel how to do it, and it would happen. And I learned how to do that really friggin' well for like 15 years. And I could manifest, and I knew what I was doing, and I could do my thing. I had a process, and it worked. Then I woke up, and all that stopped and went away. And I was just left with nothing. This is what Leonka was talking about. I just want to share this quick because in that nothingness, I sat in that nothingness for 8 months solid. I was scared. I couldn't create anything. I couldn't do anything but be freaked out every day. And I started to learn in that void, oh, that me that lived this whole life, she over.
Yeah.
What? Okay. What? And I used to call it an it.
That's what you told me.
What does it want now? And I had to start from scratch. And I had to throw everything away and let everything go, including being a healer. I had to let everything go and sit in nothingness. And it was the most scariest, fulfilling, relaxing, most freaked out thing I've ever done because I knew I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But my ego couldn't take it and my emotions couldn't take it. And I just, all the guidance said, all that void said was to just sit and be quiet for 8 months. Anything I would try to do for my old self, it just went. And it didn't say no, I just felt no. Like, no.
Yep. I laughed
And
because I can
so
relate.
I like strapped myself in for 8 months because I wanted to go be the person I was because I did her really well.
Yeah.
And then one day, out of nowhere, the void said, you can start working again. And then I felt, oop. And I had the yellow pages at the time because they were still a thing. Go get the yellow pages and see who in this New York area is doing something similar to you and start speaking with them. And then 2 weeks later, I met my husband and we moved out of New York. Month later, 2 months later. And the life I have now, I would have never in a million friggin' years that me before I woke up, I couldn't have even imagined it. No freaking way. No
Yeah.
freaking way.
You didn't
Like
even know that
it's
was
like,
your best version.
yeah, it's like not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Like that me thinks she's Alanis Morissette driving down the highway with my hair in the convertible, and I'm alone. And I'm like this powerful alone person. I don't need anybody.
Mhm.
And like that's not me. And there's moments, of course, that's still in me that I'm like, I'm Alanis Morissette. F
I
off,
love it. You
right?
do give that vibe. For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I love it. I love it.
So it's like, and that's not what my life is,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? My life, I need everybody.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's like what I thought my life was going to be, and then there's what it is. But when I'm really honest and I go in my heart, like I'll say, I'm like, but the life I'm living is the life I felt ever since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't look, it feels the same. It just didn't look like it, you know? So we all have our moments of courage that can be daily in every moment to follow the heart. And you either want to or you don't. You can't kind of follow your heart.
Ooh.
Wow.
You either are or you're not. You're either pregnant or you're
Yes.
not pregnant. You can't kind of be pregnant.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that to judge. It's just
No.
what it
Yes.
is. And so when you feel within yourself, well, am I just following my heart or am I not? You're like, oh, interesting. These parts of me are still scared. These parts of me are still has
Yeah.
trauma. Oh, I understand why I'm scared. It's not judgment. It's know thyself. Know where you're at. Be honest. Of am I 100% in or am I not? And let me just be honest where I'm at, because then I can meet what's real, not what I think should be, not hurry, not be like, God, you didn't listen to your heart today, you stupid idiot, right? I better go get some healing and figure out how to do it. It's like, no, man, be honest. Where are you really at?
Yeah.
Right? And then you meet yourself from there. Then you have something to do. Versus, well, I should be further or I should be this thing. It's like, yeah, but you're not. This is it. Right?
Right. I love that. Love it.
Wow.
Like, and the other thing I have to say, and I promise we're going to do this healing thing.
No,
Because
it's
even as
fine.
I'm
We're all right
talking,
here with you.
We're going to be here all day.
I love it. I love it so much.
it's 11:11 my time right now.
I love
As
it.
I'm talking, I've still got my eye on this thing that we're getting ready to do, because it's much kind of larger than I thought.
Cool.
Because we got spirit getting it ready. We've got everybody's
Yay.
teams. We got aspects of the universe that are connected to what we're about to do. Like it's a kind of a bigger thing than, oh, look, there's this little foundational ego tension. Let's help it release. It's like, well, that's actually bigger than.
Yeah, I gathered.
Right?
Thank you for sharing before, because you're hitting home for sure.
So the other thing I want to share too is like, so if we can think of everything as a spectrum, from like the lightest shade of whatever color to the darkest shade of the color, right? We are that. And so some days we feel this way, some days we feel that way. And being honest and intimate with our real reality, our real experience really matters, because then life meets you there, right? It's kind of like when you work with somebody and you're scrambling or you're scared, but then when you finally get to the thing, you can feel everything go, right? So when you're honest with your own path and with your own self of where you're at, with following your truth and following your heart and being who you are, there's a peace that happens. And then you actually go from there. Ooh, I think we're ready. So this thing that we're about to do is really kind of large, because now it's going like way out, and now it's getting to this kind of key spot that is connected to the whole thing. So, yep, everybody's getting ready now. So here's what we're going to do. And I don't have a word for this to even describe it that matches it. If there's a core conflict within yourself of being who you are, if there's a core conflict of feeling safe, if there's a core thing about needing to control your life, that's what we're about to do. Something's going to move around that because it's so foundational. We don't have the words. And so because we affect everything and everything affects us, right? What we're about to do in your bodies is significant because of how it's going to ripple. And it's everything that it's about to ripple into, because we're addressing a core kind of ego thing, right? Ego energy within all of us. Whatever we're about to do and where it's going to ripple in the universes, all of that had to kind of get set up. So, yep. All right, you guys ready now? So all you have to do is just be. You don't have to do anything, like mentally, you know. So we're going to start this in your body. We don't have to find labels. We don't have to find words. All you have to do is just experience whatever you're experiencing. And then it's just starting to ripple outward. Interesting. So because of what we're doing, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like I have to say this. That heightening that we were feeling that was like super intense because of the eclipse, that doesn't have to do that as much anymore because you're shifting it now, whatever it is that was happening. So it doesn't have to push so hard, I could say, or something's just shifting around that. Or how we'll feel after today. I don't know if the heightening will be gone because I don't think so, but just the degree of it, of what it was triggering in the body, which is what creates that energy, is shifting now. So other parts of you and other universes are watching and coming to be part of this release, we could call it, of the veils, the ego, consciousness, of control, of separateness, aloneness. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And there's a lot of energy out there that is very invested in this not shifting, right? Because it has to stay in control. That's how things control us, is by our own fear, right? If we're not afraid anymore, we're just in our who we are. What can manipulate you? Nothing, right? Can't play on that survival fear anymore because you're like, you know what? Life's got me. It'll figure it out, right? I don't know when, don't know how, but I know it's got me because I am that, right? You can't be manipulated anymore or seduced away from your truth, right? So as whatever we're doing right now, I can just watch this energy go to energies that just don't want, they're more invested in the control part. They're not stopping this at all, but you can see that they're being affected. Yep, and then the brain, not just human brain, but other brains, we could say other forms, shifting now to be more of truth, space, wholeness. Okay, yep. So if you knew in your bones you would always have everything that you needed and so much more, how would your life change? If you knew for absolute fact that everything you could ever need will always come, period. Not maybe, not because you have to heal an issue, not because, but because it's what it is. Yep, now we're starting to kind of come back down here. And when we're working with, like, we could say that your human field of clearing out old fears, tension, it's just fear. Like, oh my God, what if I don't have enough? Oh my God, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if? And there could be situations that you're going through that you have to walk through that make it feel that way. But it's not this lie, right? That creates suffering, you know? Yeah, and then whatever we've been doing within, that light now of truth is just starting to emanate out and go through your field and just kind of do what it needs to do. Yep. So I'm doing what I need to do now to complete with all that partnering and everything. Yeah, you are never what your mind tells you you are. And how you can tell what the lie is because you don't feel good and it makes you feel small and not enough. Truth never makes you feel that way, ever. So there's some sort of, I don't even know how to describe this, like spiritual DNA, new human DNA, I don't know what to call it, it's coming in. And this is part of this eclipse that hasn't happened yet, that would have activated this anyway in you, and it's doing it now. Because that's how we roll, yo. Do things before. And I can just watch like this consciousness in you go, oh, I have to believe in myself. I have to now. I have to believe in the truth I know. I have to. Like, it is essential. So everyone is like now going where they need to go in your life and your energy, like what's next, what's new, next levels. And it's very much in the moment. It's very much still alive and in process. But how I've been facilitating all this is starting to complete. You guys are all like busy now, digesting what just happened. Not the mind. You're digesting it, you're receiving it, you're updating to what's going on now within your systems, the new energy that's available now and that's here. And you're just being and releasing and kind of going forward to whatever is next for you. Okay, yep. So we're going to bring you guys wherever you're going next. And then I think I'm going to be done with this process here. Okay, ready? Woof. Yep. Okay, coming out now of your space. Dang, man.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's in process now. You guys are like leaving the old world, going into the new world. And it's like in the moment getting created. So like there are these possibilities out there, but they're becoming alive as you're choosing, not mentally choosing, not emotionally choosing. Your being is knowing what it's doing, right? Oh, this. Oh, now that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's very alive. Oh, no, wait. Oh, now this. Oh, now that. And so as your being is busy now going forward and feeling where it's going and choosing from truth, again, not need or human mind or ego. It's just in itself of what it wants to experience next as itself, you know. That's still in process. And so as it does that,
Yeah.
possibilities keep manifesting in front of it and then more. And then, so this is how we create our lives. It's not some mind trick, you know.
Wow.
And this is just what's going to be happening now. Like you guys are in flux, you guys
Powerful.
shifting
Ooh,
now.
really
It's just
powerful.
what it is. I guess we had to do the show, yo.
Yo.
Yeah. No, it's like,
Yeah, yes.
Right?
it's so,
Yeah.
it was just so, it's so light.
Those are
It was just so light. Oh my God.
amazing.
My hair is
I'm going to bring up
crazy.
your special offer that,
Oh yeah, that thing.
yeah, let's do that thing. And,
Yeah. A couple comments are so powerful. Thank you, Ran. I really resonate. Some from the chat says, oh gosh, I'm really connecting with the speaker saying. I keep getting that I am just opening and opening. Thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And this is shift in consciousness that we're doing, right? So it's not, we may not have labels, but we feel it,
Yeah. Valid
right?
question. Yes.
Yeah. So we've
Wow.
got this like massive self-empowerment package, yo. So there's 20 MP3s in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I want to like go to my no, let's start with the first. So I did these 3 teaching, meditation, healing. I was going to say CDs. We don't do CDs anymore.
I would have understood. I love it.
So you got the CD that you got to put in your CD player, and then you
Yeah.
can listen, right? So I did these 3 MP3s about how to clear what's not your energy and how to truly clear what's not your energy for real. I teach you how to do that. I take you through that process, and you learn how to do it. And for me, it is the only thing that has ever worked to truly clear my energy. So I'm just going to simplify that. How something gets in your space is it is sticking to something within you. So if me, Jennifer, and Lianka all go to a store together and we leave the store and one of us goes, ooh, I feel funky. And the other 2 of us go, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
One of us picked up something in that store.
Mm-hmm.
Why not the other 2? Okay. What is going on in that one person? Right. So I teach you how to really connect to, well, what in you is creating something to come in your space, and then what you do about that, and how you shift that, and then how you fill yourself up. And so that's what those first 3 are. And I'm simplifying it.
Yeah, these are really good, you guys. It's not so much about like, who does it belong to only, it's really,
Right.
really goes into it. It's good.
Yeah, because it's getting to the core of what in you, of how this whole thing
Yeah.
works, how
I
energy
would even
sticks.
go to say, if you would find after today that you're trying is the key word here, really hard
That's
to
like
work
forcing.
with your heart and choose from your heart, those 3 audios might help you really get the difference.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And you said, like you said, it
This
changed
is
your life.
this is I mean, this is
I believe.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, where you are now is just so powerful.
Thanks.
I don't
girl.
even know a better word. I really wanted to put a really significant word there, but powerful was the one
Yeah,
that came out of my
Well,
mouth.
and
the word.
it's all my choices. I had to
Yeah.
choose. I have a choice. I can either downward spiral in my old whatever.
Right.
Nope. I'm going to stay in my heart. I'm going to stay in my heart. And within about 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, phew.
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is who I am. I ain't doing that anymore. Right. So then the next is the clearing the veils that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So each and all the details of what the veils are, where we clear it, all of that is in this sales page. But we go through all the chakras to clear the ego veils. We go through your sexual center to clear the ego veils. We get your whole system ready. It's the whole thing. And so when you listen to this Clearing the Veils series, do it in order first. It's really important because the first session preps you, you do all the releases, and then the last session does a whole healing, overall clearing, and like embodying of everything that you did. Then after you listen to it in order, then feel free to mix it up. Okay. So that's that one, clearing the veils. And then the last one, I believe I did So this last series I did about self-empowering accelerated healing series is all about this embodiment we're going through. How do you navigate the unknown? And then I did a next one about receiving. How do you actually receive? And then the other one is, how do you actually be in true self-empowerment? And then we do a whole accelerated healing of all of that experience that you just went through to really embody those teachings. So it's just a massive self kind of class that you do with yourself to really embody who you are. And I assist you in that by all of these teachings, right? And to really energetically shift you into you. So, and then we do that through all of these different ways. So that's what that is.
That's fabulous. With this, you guys, when you check out from this program, we also have added 2 baby little options for you to enhance this experience. One is our chakra program to match up with her chakras. It's only frequencies. You can even taste it and try it on the page. We also have a Hertz frequency program that we sell for $8, and it's an option if you want
It's
that as well.
It's sound frequencies that
Yeah.
you can play, and they help to just really bypass your ego.
Analytical
Yeah,
mind.
exactly. Wowzers, awesome.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, honestly, we just got like a super like snippet sample of how powerful this work is with you, Ambujam, and you and the way you explain things. I can't even, it's hard for me to even paraphrase because it comes from the truth and the truth of your heart and how it is received by all of us. I mean, obviously, from the comments on the chat, it moves us all. So if your heart's feeling called, definitely choose it.
If you are watching on the YouTube live stream, Bianca will go ahead and put it in the chat.
Yep. We have it
And
in there.
oh, it is already in there.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It'll also, after the show, if you're watching it on replay, it will be in the caption on YouTube. It will also be in the newsletter.
Yes, but if you're not on our newsletter, go ahead and sign up for that as well. We have lots of free gifts and all of the lineup for whoever is coming to speak with us is always shared. We have like a little bit of a blog there and some of our insights. So you can do that at www.houtehustle.com. And if you're still not seeing anything that you need to find, you can always email us at team@houtehustle.com as well.
It's spelled like in case, and even in case you're listening on the podcast, it'll be on the show notes of the podcast as well. Ooh, covered all those bases, didn't we?
Ambujam, that was so powerful.
That was, I feel like, gosh, there's just been a buildup this month. We've had good show. I just said last Tuesday was the best show. I think this one might trump it just a little bit.
I was gonna say that. It builds on it.
Oh, and it built on the conversation. I mean, every single one of them is just building. It's absolutely phenomenal.
And divinely timed for sure. My goodness. Always a treat to have you with us. My goodness, so blessed. We'll be back on the show. And we're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Love you. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.